So in Ayala's ongoing campaign to wipe out the Silver Hand, which she of course has us doing all the legwork for her, right? She has apparently come across plans that the Silver Hand has on, I don't know, wiping us out or something. Anyway, somehow she got wind of where these plans are. Of course, they're stuck in some chest in a cave, right? And we have to go get them. And of course, this chest will be guarded by a boss or a chief version of the Silver Hand, I guess. Really, this bandit cave, you can come here anytime. Like any other cave around here, and it would just have, well, just bandits. Well, now I guess they interchanged the name bandit with Silver Hand, and as far as I'm concerned, they are interchangeable. They're one and the same thing. I'm not sure what got them all riled up to hunt down werewolves, but aside from that, they're no different than any other bandits. Yeah, see, this guy, if you look at his name there, it says Silver Hand. You come in here any other time, and it would just say, you know, bandit or bandit outlaw or thug or something. I don't think I have any empty black soul gems, do I? Oh, I don't think so. Find out here in a second.
Skyrim belongs to the North.
Alright, these guys are a little beefier than your normal bandit, though. In fact, if this was a bandit, he would probably be at least a outlaw, probably a thug, considering the amount of damage he took. I'm guessing a thug. And the guy at the end of this place will, of course, be the equivalent of a chief. And he'll have a master chest. This is one of those caves you can come to really early in the game and have a chance on getting Meridia's beacon. Like, I guess, any other cave that has a master level chest. That means, like, the big, fancy chests at the end. Any one of those could hold the beacon. I found it here before. Also found it Voltime Towers. I think in this playthrough, we found it at the end of the Barrow. When we got the Golden Claw. I think it was in there. I think we had it, like, at the very beginning. I was pretty lucky. Of course, it took us 40 more levels to actually get to Meridia's temple and actually do the quest and stuff. We got there, eventually, in a roundabout way.
What would she think? Fool never saw me pull that ace out of my boot.
Yeah, definitely bandits. Cheating each other at cards. Bastards.
Huh?
Did I really miss? Well, why don't I just point my arrow directly at his face, point blank, in his face, and still miss? Why don't I just do that?
Time to end this little game.
There should be a skill book in here somewhere, also. There normally is at the end of these dungeons. If you find a master chest, odds are there's a skill book nearby also. I think in just about every case. Maybe not right next to it, but somewhere in that same room or nearby. Was that it? I guess they got him. Alright. Well, cool deal.
In my time, the blades protected the Emperor. It would seem these penitents...
That Spectre Assassin is going to make me regret summoning him. Old LeChance.
Oculatus will prove equally incompetent.
Wahahaha. Alright, so we'll take these plans. I guess these Silverhand bandits are disorganized enough that they need to write everything down. But, whatever the case, we'll get these back to Ayala. There's a skill book. Of course, I've already read it, but... oh, that's cool. Add it to the collection. That's the thing I collect in Skyrim is books, I guess.
Planting false evidence, destroying an innocent man's reputation. Truly, a contract worthy of the listener.
Yeah, his, what do you call it, speech rate? The frequency with which he talks is pretty high. As long as you've got him summoned, he's going to keep running his mouth over and over.
I was but a speaker for the Black Hand, but you have been named listener. There is no higher honor.
I guess there's something to be said about Dark Brotherhood followers being exceptionally annoying. Cicero's no exception. He may be loyal and true to the Brotherhood and all that, but boy is he annoying. Like, intentionally annoying. Like, they couldn't have made him any more annoying if they tried. And believe me, they tried. That shit wasn't accidental. That was on purpose.
Is that fur coming out of your ears?
So rise up.
Alright, so let's report in.
Children of the Empire. Rise up.
See what Ayala's got next for us.
I've been running interference for you around here. I don't think anyone's caught on to our little campaign. Yet. Have you been bringing the battle to the Silver Hand, friend? I wish I could be there with you. Soon enough. Perfect. Hopefully this will let us know more about their movement. I think we've got them on the run.
Stalking your prey, planting false evidence, destroying
And there is
an
more work to be
innocent
done.
man's
But I fear
reputation.
that Kodlak's gotten wind of our recent efforts.
A
He's asked to see you.
contract worthy of the listener.
My advice, always be honest with the old man. But don't tell him anything he doesn't need to know.
Well, this is one point where Kodlak might want to wish he was actually the appointed quote-unquote leader of the companions. I mean, he really sort of is, but he takes the stance on not really telling anyone what to do, but kind of maintaining guidelines for people to follow, you know.
For as long as I can remember.
But,
Might head down to the meadery later. See what you're brewing up.
so, you know, honestly, the Silverhand are dedicated to wiping out the companions. But really, one way or another, you got to take it to them anyway. They're certainly going to bring it to us at some point,
Thank
right?
you for coming. Yes, youngling. Have a seat.
Whiterun, home of the Sky Forge. It is said a blade forged
I
in its
hear you've been
fires
busy of
can
late.
cut through sinew, as if it were parchment.
Your hearts are full of grief, and my own weeps at the loss of Skjor. But his death was avenged long ago. You have taken more lives than honor demanded. The cycle of retaliation may continue for some time.
I can
In any
taste
case,
it.
I have a task for you. Have you heard the story of how we came to be werewolves? The boy has a nugget of truth, but the reality is more complicated than that.
What, pray,
It always
awaits
is.
us?
The companions are nearly 5,000 years old. This matter of beast blood has only troubled us for a few hundred. One of my predecessors was a good but short-sighted man. He made a bargain with the witches of Glenmoril coven. If the companions would hunt in the name of their lord Hirsine, we would be granted great power.
And the great treachery of Jade and
They did not believe the change would be permanent. The witches offered payment, like anyone else.
Houses in the sun.
But we had been deceived. We'll get to that. It's not so simple as just killing them, though. The disease, you see, affects not just our bodies. It seeps into the spirit. Upon death, werewolves are claimed by Hirsine for his hunting grounds. For some, this is a paradise. They want nothing more than to chase prey with their master for eternity. That is their choice. But I am still a true Nord, and I wish for Sovngarde as my spirit home. That's what I've spent my twilight years trying to find out. And now I've found the answer. The witch's magic ensnared us, and only their magic can release us. They won't give it willingly, but we can extract their foul powers by force. I want you to seek them out. Go to their coven in the wilderness. Strike them down as a true warrior of the wild. And bring me their heads, the seat of their abilities. From there, we may begin to undo centuries of impurity.
Stalking your prey, planting false evidence, destroying
Good.
an
Now move
innocent
quickly,
man's
and don't leave
reputation.
any of them alive.
Truly, a
Talos
true
guide you,
word
lass.
of the listener.
We'll see. Well, Ayala doesn't want to leave any of the Silver Hand alive, and somehow Honor doesn't demand the price that the Silver Hand have paid. Like, you know, we're going above and beyond. Of course, the Silver Hand being dedicated to wiping us out isn't an issue. Okay. But we should go to these witches who Kodlak has a problem with and wipe every single one of them out. Which, I'm down with that too. But for different reasons, he's just as right as Ayala is. The witches just, well, for what they are and for their treachery. And then the Silver Hand for the simple fact that they picked this fight. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe we picked the fight with them. I mean, people don't just come up and just become obsessed with hunting down werewolves just out of the blue and then, you know, focus all their attention on you and try to wipe you out. I mean, maybe this started somewhere, but maybe not. I mean, maybe that's actually what they did. I guess once I become a vampire, I'll probably have a problem with the Dawn Guard, personally. I mean, I can see that. So I guess, you know, being allied with the werewolves right now, I've got a problem with the werewolf hunters. But they really are bandits. I mean, they really are just thugs.
In my time,
I'd be killing them anyway. If not, they're going to kill me and take my stuff. Because that's what they do, so... We have a bit of a walk here. I forgot this was this far out in the middle of nowhere. And so we'll just go kill all the witches. We'll grab all their heads too. You only need one, I think, to help cure Kodlak of his werewolfism, whatever you call it. Lycanthropy, I think. We might need one for ourselves also. Also, it seems like this quest messed up on me once because I didn't grab all the witches' heads. I think I just grabbed one or two and then tried to leave the rest, and then it kind of gave me a problem later. I'm remembering that, so... Regardless, we're just going to go ahead and behead all the witches. Oh, sweet. Skill book I haven't read. I'll leave that. That's theirs. I don't like stealing from the hunters out here in the wild.
in life, I was but a speaker for the Black Hand.
You hear the crickets or cicadas in the background. That's pretty cool. And then the music, man. Oh, the wandering music is awesome. It's just... It's cool. You feel like you're out just exploring all free and everything. I mean, that's a huge part of it. It really is. They get it right. Dragon Age. Mass Effect. Fallout. Elder Scrolls. Oh, let me think of another... Oh, Divinity 2. Divinity 2. Dragon Knight Saga. I seriously, here lately, I have some problems with Xbox and a lot of their policies and the things that they said they were going to do, then not do, then do again, then not do, then they're really doing it, but they told you they weren't going to do it, and all that kind of stuff. Not going to get into console war bullshit. I mean, play on what you want to play. If it plays a game, play your game. That's, you know, totally cool with it, but you know, what I do personally, this is me. If you wonder why I'm not on a bunch of different platforms, like I'm not PC and Xbox and PlayStation, whatever, is I'll have my friends, and I spend a lot of time playing games. I really do. I game a lot. It's what I do. I enjoy that. That's a really big part of my life personally. Hope y'all can tell, and I like to share that with you guys in my videos and stuff, especially my favorite games. Well, I like getting I guess you could say a community, or having my friends together and having, everybody together in one place, and these are people I can get in touch with and play games with, or just chat with, or talk with, or whatever. And, not being divided across a bunch of different platforms, when I work on my, achievements or my trophies and stuff, which, one downside to having switched to PlayStation is, I had a decent gamer score at one point on my Xbox, and kind of left that behind with everything else. And I know it's for nothing but personal bragging rights. No one really cares what your gamer score is but you, type of thing. Unless you're one of those guys that's at the very, very top and you're sponsored by Xbox because your gamer score is like 1 million or something. I think there's like a handful of guys that are like that, but for the rest of us, I don't think gamer score matters to anyone but yourself. But there's some achievements that I can say, I'm kind of proud of that. Certain things, you complete game or platinum Dark Souls, or Demon Souls, and stuff. Certain games where you go, that was hard, and I earned that, Don't get anything for it, but just, like I say, personal bragging rights. But it is what it is. I left a lot of that behind with the Xbox. I am seriously considering going back and getting an Xbox, honestly, for 2 games right off the top of my head that I just want to play again, and that is Divinity 2, one of my favorites. It's not, I guess, the same caliber as far as polish goes, maybe, or whatever, as, some of your BioWare and Bethesda games and stuff. It's a much lower budget game, but it's a huge open world RPG. If you haven't played it, I'd strongly suggest it, checking into it. It starts a little bit slow, because if you're thinking it's a 20, 30 hour game, then you're going to think, why is this slow? And then you realize it's not. If you want to do everything, it's a 50, 60, 70, 80 hour game, at least, depending on how much you want to explore and stuff. And it's open world. The map area is huge in that game. The graphics aren't all up in your face, trying to be realistic type of thing like this. But it has a really cool art style, and it has a feel, and it has music to match. The composer they had, who actually passed away, I believe, a Russian guy. Don't remember his name. I think I would have a hard time pronouncing it if I did, but he's done a lot of stuff. I mean, lots and lots and lots of music. But he created one of the neatest soundtracks for that game too, and it fits. It's serious and comical and spiritual and flowing, yet at the same time funny on a different. And it just you go from area to area, and everything's got its own character and stuff, and it's a unique game. It's really, really cool. Actually, I believe it's made by the same people who did Sacred, the Sacred series, or at least Sacred 2 is the one that I played. That was an Xbox game also. It was kind of a co-op MMO style grinder, where you ran around and you just killed everything, kill mobs and take their stuff, that type of stuff. Almost a Diablo-esque type thing going on there. But yeah, Divinity 2 was a one-player RPG, and it was amazing. Amazing game in so many ways. And the other one, the one that I admittedly haven't played, and I'm almost embarrassed to not have played it now, is a Jade Empire. I really want to check that out. I really, really, really want to check that out. It came up when I was saying, I want a ninja RPG. I want an RPG that focuses around ninjas. And one of the BioWare people is Mike Laidlaw, actually. Who's, of course, heavily off into, like Dragon Age and stuff, those BioWare games. He actually tweeted, and he was like, have you checked out Jade Empire? Because apparently there was an assassin-type character in there. I don't believe it was a playable character, but I think it was like one of your followers-type people, one of the NPCs. I don't know anything about the game, so I'm not gonna speculate. But anyway, he mentioned that, and I was like, no, I'm really thinking about more of a ninja-centric, something centered around ninjas specifically. Even had a kind of a cool story idea for it. Was basically to start. I mean, if you want to think about, like the intro, how do you start a a game or a game franchise. You know, you try to do it in an epic fashion, and you being a student in a school of ninjutsu, and you can choose a good or evil path. You can choose to either stick with the old ways and defend the Far East from Western, what would you call it, industrialization, new technology and stuff, and you can set it at a time where these things are coming about, and you make a choice between traditional way of life and traditional thinking and new modern way of life with machines and those things, and maybe you would have some certain bonuses or benefits for going one way, and then it would also be, you know, some downside if you went one way over another, you know, type of thing. So if you pick one thing, you might have access to some stuff that you wouldn't have if you go the other way. But if you do that, you may, like, you could even go so far as to choose, kind of make a choice between technology and spiritual stuff like magic or things of that. Anyway, I mean, you could just go wherever you wanted with that. But you being an assassin, you could be hired by one side or the other to deal with the other side, and all the things you could involve in that, all the different personalities. And honestly, in my opinion, BioWare would be the perfect developer to put something like this together, because of the dynamic way that they develop every character in the game. Not just your character and your immediate followers, but all the NPCs. Everyone's got their own personality. Everybody has their own background and, you know, backstory and whatever. And so they could do that. They could do it. I mean, I see them all over it. It's just my little idea. Nobody's listening to me. I know that. Well, Mike was, he was courteous enough to respond. So, I mean, he listened as far as that goes. And then he mentioned some games, Way of the Samurai. And it seems like I played a part of one of them, but it was really, really, really glitchy. I think it was Way of the Samurai 2, maybe? I don't remember. I remember looking at one of those because someone told me it was RPG-ish, but getting through the quest was really clunky, and a lot of the dialogue would get you stuck where you couldn't continue quests or something. There was problems. Probably there was workarounds and fixes to that, but nothing drew me into the game to make me want, you know, have to keep playing it type thing. And so I remember laying it back down. I think it was one of those types of games. But what I'm picturing is all the beautiful artwork and the graphics and the moonlit, you know, Japanese skylines and stuff like that you could throw into the game, and the action combat that they could introduce, you know, and stuff. But anyway, his mentioning of Jade Empire, I did go look at it. I went and looked up some stuff on the wiki, and just to go see what it was about. And I was like, how do I not know of this? That's like somebody mentioning pizza and saying, what's pizza? You know, I feel like that guy. You know, like this is as a gamer, this should have been one of my first games, not one that, you know, on the tail end I'm going back to look, but I never played it. Just the way it is. Lots of other big games I've never played just because I either didn't have the time or interest, or I was doing something else. A lot of times I can get focused on a particular game and be stuck on just that. Like when Inquisition came out, it was what's, I guess, about 6 months of nothing but, I didn't play anything but that. And I had no interest, and other stuff was coming out, but was off into that. Witcher 3 came out. I still haven't touched it. And that is one that is on my I need to go play that, and for some reason probably won't type thing. I don't know why. I think a little bit of a drawback on The Witcher for me, this is just me personally, is you don't have your own character you create from scratch. I mean, like, even in Mass Effect, you've got Shepard, who's got something of a story written out, but you can still create your character and create some backstory and stuff, and I don't know why that's different, but it is. I really don't know why that's different. I can't explain it, but it is. Not knocking The Witcher at all, it's just something doesn't grab me and make me go play it. Fallout, I have to have that. It's already paid for. That's just the way it is. The game could suck, and I would still, I'd be fanboy about it. That's just the way it is, you know. Any Dragon Age game that comes out. Although sometimes when I'm playing them, especially with Inquisition, there's been some things that has me whining and complaining like a bitch about it. But you know, overall, any Dragon Age game, any Mass Effect game, any Elder Scrolls game, you know, obviously the next Elder Scrolls that comes out, the day that they announce pre-order, it'll be paid for. You know, as far as that goes. Even if I don't eat for a week to get it, that's worth it. You know, as far as I'm concerned. So, but Witcher just didn't do that for me. But I'll tell you one thing that does. And it's just because of a trailer, and I don't know why it's really got me by the short hairs, and it's not letting me go, is Cyberpunk 2077. Honestly, I'm gonna get that game, and I don't even need to see a review on it. There's something about that just tells me that that's going to be pretty friggin' awesome, and it's going to be fresh too. It's going to be different. If you haven't looked into that, go check out the Cyberpunk trailer. The trailer itself is just epic. It's just badass, and it just gives so many possibilities of what you could do with a futuristic Blade Runner. For those of you that have seen the movie Blade Runner, which is like kind of like a cult classic. For those of you that have seen that, it's got that thing to it. I think that futuristic, dirty underground above ground, down on the streets. You know, we're down here and the corporations are up there, and everything and there's really nothing in between. And it's just it looks really cool. But that also opens the possibility for creating your own character. I need that. I really want at least some aspect of that in my games. I really do. I don't need no backstory whatsoever. Some things are going to be decided, like an Inquisition, you're the Inquisitor. I mean, you've got the opening, and that's where you're coming from, and you don't have a choice in that, right? But then what you make of your character and what you do and the decisions you make and so on and so forth. And there may be a lot of that in Witcher 3, and I may be pleasantly surprised, and I hope I am. Because as long as I've got that game in my back pocket, I have an RPG to fall back on for a lot, while I'm waiting on others or something. And I hate to put it in that category, this is just my fallback game. In case I don't have my main squeeze to play, type of thing. I hate to put it in that category, but that's I don't know. That's just the kind of draw. And I played Witcher 2. I did. I played it, and it was a cool game. It was cool. It had almost a Dark Souls quality combat to it. As far as that's the only thing I can really compare it to out of my experience. It's pretty neat. Nice visceral, kind of realistic feeling. A little sluggish, but more real. If you were swinging this big ass sword, how exactly would you really swing it? Type of thing. And it had a lot of that good movements and animations and stuff. And then I thought the combat was really cool. And a big part of that game was just about that. And the magic and the traps in Witcher 2 were really cool because they were like more realistic. They had more of a realistic flair than just casting these magnificent nuclear fireballs out of your fingertips type of thing. There was like, if you created fire, you created something like that. There was like almost an explanation for it. Like it came across as more realistic. Nothing overwhelming. You aren't, calling meteor showers out of the sky type thing. On this, you'd have like a push, or you might have a chill, or you might have a burning thing, which could be manufactured with alchemy, and things like that, just as well as, some kind of supernatural, magical, spiritual, blah, blah, blah. I mean, The Witcher was a little more visceral, a little more real, I guess you'd say, down to earth. Pretty cool. Absolutely pretty cool. And the combat wasn't really easy by any means, at least not for me. For some people may have thought it was a breeze. I thought it was challenging and rewarding. Very cool. But yet here I am, not going to investigate Witcher 3. Instead, what am I thinking about doing is going back and grabbing an old used Xbox so I can throw a few games back in there that I'd like to check out from way back when. Divinity 2, I just want to play that again just to experience running through the open fields, turning into a dragon, and getting to be a dragon, and the music. I mean, that's enough there. Honestly, the rest of the game, who cares? you get to be a dragon, kill a bunch of crap, run through the open fields while the music's playing, all epic and cinematic and shit. And yeah, that's just freaking awesome. Anyway. I'm sitting here blabbing because essentially I'm just wash, rinse, and repeat. Go find a hag raven, kill it, and rip its face off and move on to the next. Guess there's 5 total in here. Yeah, I don't know that it's mandatory. I don't know that you have to kill these hag ravens. Probably not. I mean, you could just grab one head and leave, I guess. And if I was going to stay a werewolf through the rest of the game, well, honestly, I'd probably still kill all of them and grab all their heads anyway. Like I said, I don't want to run into any problems. Sometimes quests can be a little, especially in a huge game like this, when you have a quest with multiple steps involved and you do those steps just out of order, not in the exact right sequence, or you miss one and skip it and somehow manage to trigger the next step in a quest without getting one in the middle, and you screw the whole quest line up and stuff. It happens, you know. Especially, I mean, anyone who played Oblivion, it happens. There are some in there that are just so long, drawn out, and complex that saying the wrong thing to an NPC in the wrong order can screw up a quest line. Look at Blood on the Ice in this one, which we did not that long ago. That's a perfect example of one where, if not done just right, all kinds of things can happen. It can become incompletable. There'll be bugs in certain things. One of the worst ones I had was when I finally bought, what is it, Hajerim Manor? Whatever, the house where you investigate the murderer. You can eventually buy that house, and when you do, if something's not done in just the right order, what'll happen is your crafting area, your little enchanting room, which is really cool. I mean, it's got shelves with all kinds of stuff on it and little weapon racks up, and it's just that little cubby hole where you can go in and enchant your gear and stuff. All the skeletons and baskets and empty wine bottles and all that crap stay in there. And so you get your enchanting stuff, but you gotta steadily step on bones and skulls flying all over the place, knocking your stuff off the walls. It's just nasty. Blood and crap splattered everywhere. And I mean, you know, when it's cleaned up and when it looks cool, it is cool. It's this little candlelit room where you can go enchant your gear, and it looks all very cool and everything. But yeah, if it bugs on you, if, I don't know, maybe you don't talk to somebody at just the right time or some crap like that, then you pay the guy to clean the room up, and then you go back to your house and all that crap is still there. And there's nothing you can do about it. Well, anyway. Alright, so we got the witch's heads. Let's go report back. Go back and give Codlac the good news. Hey man, got something for you. Holding up this ugly-ass hag raven head. Be nasty.
Help the Empire is sending reinforcements. Drive these heathens out. Truly reach enlightenment. What's the hurry? We are but minds.
Uh-oh. This isn't good.
These two aren't a problem anymore.
Finally had the nerve to...
I'd like to point something out here. This right here can't be blamed on Aiella either. I mean, she may have spurred it, but this was going to happen anyway.
These two aren't a problem anymore.
These Silverhand pieces of crap made it clear at the very beginning when we first learned that some of the companions are werewolves, when we go on that first quest with, who was it, Farkas is our shield brother or whatever, and he turns into a werewolf, and Silverhand makes it clear it doesn't matter which one he is, just kill him.
Where have you
So,
been?
who are you talking
It
to?
was important because it means you weren't here to defend him.
But you were, and you didn't?
They finally
That's
found
my
enough
fault?
courage to attack your Vasker. We fought them off, but the old man, Codlac, he's dead. No.
Well, somebody's
they
gonna pay
made
for that.
off with all our fragments of Wuthrad. But you and I are going to reclaim them. We will bring the battle to their chief camp. There will be none left living to tell their stories. Only songs of your Vasker will be sung. We will avenge Codlac, and they will know terror before the end.
Yeah, they will, actually. Alright, so now I've lost Uthgerd. That may be it for Uthgerd. I may come back and visit her at the Bannered Mare later or something, but that may be all for
You're
us.
someone who can get things done.
We'll
I
see.
like that.
I don't know. Yeah, she's... I'm gonna miss Uthgerd. My favorite followers for
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom?
a long time.
You don't
I've played a lot of Skyrim, and she's always just kind of been there.
Fist fight with her.
What a cool game. Alright, so we'll go avenge Codlac and go get back all of our fragments of Wuthrad, which we've spent all this time collecting, and they came back and got them all at once. Guess we did them a favor, collecting all those pieces for them. But yeah, this was inevitable. They were going to do this anyway. They made that clear. But we just spurred them on and finally got it out of the way. Too bad Codlac had to go as a result. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll go avenge Codlac in the next one. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top, and for the rest of this Let's Play, click that image in the middle. It should send you to the playlist. Take care, bye-bye.